George Cooper was often described as a bad father and a lazy husband in The Big Bang Theory. But young Sheldon showed him in a completely different light.
You got it.
From creating a special bond with Missy to supporting Sheldon when no one else could, and to sacrificing himself for his family.
I turned it down.
Let's see why George Cooper became a fan favorite in Young Sheldon. Close bond with Missy. While Mary constantly tried to be there for Sheldon, for George, Missy had always been his little girl. Their connection became really special when they started having daddy-daughter dates. Remember the first one at the fanciest restaurant in Texas?
Which is?
Red Lobster, where the surf meets the turf.
And although George was a bit embarrassed by Missy's look at first,
Okay, but you call me Melissa.
he was happy that his daughter enjoyed their date in her lobster.
Good, huh?
Unbelievable.
When Missy got older, having dates with her dad became awkward, but the bond remained.
What would you like me to call our daddy-daughter dates?
You're so annoying.
George taught Missy many things, such as driving and playing baseball. And even when she got her first period, he was there for her.
Nothing to be embarrassed about. It's perfectly natural. Perfectly normal.
Dad, I know.
I'm telling myself.
This day certainly made their relationship even stronger.
That's my little lady.
There are so many sweet George and Missy moments that they deserve a separate video. Share in the comments below if you'd like to watch it. And now let's move on to George's oldest kid. Looked out for Georgie. This young man brought quite a stir into his family, especially when he decided to drop out of school and get a job. Although it wasn't easy to accept his choice, George eventually did.
I think it's great you got this job. You're doing so well at it.
And he learned to value his son's efforts.
I'm proud of you.
Georgie, in his turn, still needed time to appreciate his dad equally. We have to admit that it wasn't always easy, especially when George decided to have the talk with his son.
You're of an age where your body has urges.
Oh my God.
Well, he did his best.
You know how when we're running practice drills and we wear protection so both people are safe?
That's one way to describe it.
Same thing, but with your privates.
Plays life.
Thank you.
And do you remember how Georgie's love interest, Veronica, stayed with them for some time because of her abusive stepfather?
You really want to mess with me? Sure. Why not?
It's amazing how George stepped up to protect her.
You might want to call the police.
Why?
There's a bum sleeping on our front porch.
Not bad for a man who was constantly described as a lazy dad, huh? And even his genius son could tell that it wasn't true. New an approach to Sheldon. Most of the time, we see Mary protecting her baby boy. But more than once, George was the only person who knew how to get through to him. Like when Sheldon had to work to give money for the fridge that he'd broken and took his irritation out on his family.
I get up in the morning to do this job I don't even like, and I'm doing it just for the money.
George shared how much he understood him and described his tough day at work. It was eye-opening for Sheldon.
I want you to get back in there, apologize to everyone, and finish your dinner.
Yes, sir.
Later, when Sheldon did a thoughtful thing and offered his sad friend a hot beverage, George said something that meant a lot.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And even when the boy was upset, his father knew what to do. Like when they missed seeing a space shuttle launch because of the rain, and George asked Sheldon to explain thunder and lightning.
Never understood how lightning works.
Of course, the young genius was happy to do it. Years later, he realized that George had asked him that only to cheer him up.
He would often pretend to be dumb just to make me feel better.
And do you remember how Sheldon got scared the first time he had to take a plane? George calmed him down by making him pretend to be Mr. Spock from Star Trek.
You be Spock, I'll be Kirk.
He got Sheldon to return to his seat and prepare for his first flight.
You okay, Mr. Spock?
Doing my best, sir.
It also proves that he did care for what his son was interested in. And it wasn't only his children that George supported throughout. Was there for his wife? Sure, the Coopers' marriage wasn't exactly a fairy tale, but the prequel showed us many instances when George was quite a good husband. For example, he did freak out at first when Mary learned she was pregnant again.
Are you kidding me?
But soon enough, he was ready to step up and support his family. And he was also there for his wife when she had a miscarriage.
I love the first three. Fourth one's a charm, right?
Besides, George encouraged Mary when she was offered a job at a church, although he knew it could be challenging for the family.
Well, I still like the idea. Ooh.
And when she lost that job because Georgie got a girl pregnant, the Cooper patriarch stood up for his family.
Y'all talk a big game about community and then you have to turn your back when things get a little messy.
Sure, he was no angel and made his mistakes, but George certainly knew how to be a family man. The next point proves it too. Made personal sacrifices. In the second season, George was offered a great job in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It meant more money and was much more interesting to him than coaching in high school, but his whole family started freaking out about the need to move from Texas. Everyone had their reasons, and Sheldon's were all about the changes he hated so much.
And the new house will probably have a different smell, and I probably wouldn't like that smell because I don't like new smells.
George understood everything and didn't want to disturb his family's stability. So he turned the offer down, although he wanted to say yes.
I don't want to live in Oklahoma.
Sadly, his sacrifices weren't always acknowledged.
Yay! We're not moving! We're staying in Texas! Yes!
But in Young Sheldon, the titular character once expressed his appreciation of his father. It happened in Season 4's episode about the black hole. Dr. Sturgis joined them for dinner, and everybody talked about science the whole evening.
It was nice.
It was.
It was a rare bonding moment that he shared with his father. Sheldon also reflected on how he wished he'd said things like that to him more often. So it looks like even he admitted that George wasn't that bad. But no one is perfect, right? Didn't cheat, but still felt guilty. George's alleged affair began after his whole family yelled at him, and he left to hit the bar. That's where he met Brenda and had a couple of beers and shots with her. You all remember how it ended?
Herschel does have the kids.
But instead of going to her place, George had a heart attack and landed in the hospital. Things got awkward for the two of them after that.
What else you good at?
I should go.
We know that nothing actually happened between them because they even discussed it one-on-one. Yet George still felt guilty because of the mere thought of cheating on his wife.
We haven't done anything, George.
But there was considering. You know there was.
Eventually, Mary caught them flirting and got suspicious.
Oh, hey, Mary. What's going on?
But Brenda was eager to talk to her and explain that nothing happened.
Talk's all it was. Are you sure? I swear.
Also, do you agree with our picks? What other Cooper family members do you feel were different in Young Sheldon? Share in the comments below. And check out other videos about your favorite sitcoms.